What's happening, guys? Coach G's here for your Mindset Monday moment, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into it. We've covered a lot so far. We've covered identity. We've covered character. We've covered desire to deserve to dominate. We've covered whatever it takes. And today we are covering mindfulness. That's right, guys. We're going to talk about mindfulness. You may have heard about it lately. It's getting definitely a lot more attention now, but it's been around for quite a while now. And what we're going to talk about with mindfulness today is how it not only has affected the greats around us, but how it also can play a role in your life as well. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. This past weekend, I'm over a good friend of mine's house. His dad is like someone I consider to be my dad. And he's one of these old guys that, because you got the smartphone, he didn't go around technology kind of deal. He's always asking me to look up stuff, right? So this time he asked me to look up the Bruins game. He wants me to look up an LSU basketball, some old college basketball game against Houston Cougars. And I'm like, what is this about? And I kind of brush it off and I open it up and it ends up being what was called the game of the century. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's UCLA Bruins going out against, or playing rather, in college basketball championship, the Houston Cougars. And you got to understand, this game had the powerhouses in it. You got Elvin Hayes, you got Maravich, you got you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. At that time, he's Lou Alcindor. You got so many people that are connected to this game, great NBA Hall of Famers. So you guys are probably like, well, hey, how does mindfulness fit into this? Well, let's just go ahead and take a segue from the game, and let's just talk about that for a minute. We'll jump back to the game for a minute, right? The way mindfulness works, and the reason why it's important to you, is that mindfulness is actually the direct opposite of what a habit is. So for those of you who are actually trying to break a habit, create a habit, make a habit, all these other different things, right? For you to understand this, one, knowing that a habit is an automatic external response to a stimuli. Or correction, automatic response to an external stimuli. Something outside has affected us automatically. Guys, look, we are like bioengineered for this kind of stuff, right? Our triggers are like bio-hardwired to us. Now, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness really is where you are in the moment, on purpose, without judgment. I want to repeat that for you again. In the moment, not in the moment thinking about the next 5 minutes. Not in the moment thinking about what you had for breakfast 5 hours ago. But you are in the moment on purpose, deliberately. You are thinking about this one exact moment. And you're doing it without any judgment. No judgment whatsoever. It's not about right or wrong. It's just simply about, okay, that happened. Now I need to make the right response. Not reaction, the right response, right? So let's go ahead and jump back into the game, right? I want you to look at it from this perspective. You got to, when you go back, read about the game, look at the game, and try to get a video attached for the game here for you guys. But the way this game broke down is that you got the UCLA Bruins, and these guys are the powerhouses. They play in front of the largest events. Like, they're always in front of the largest crowds. And you got the Houston Cougars, and they play in front of their couple thousand people. They get a chance for that. You got the Bruins, who are coming off of a 47-game win streak, haven't lost in 47. To put this in further context, again, guys, you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar being coached by none other than the great John Wooden. We've all heard of him. You didn't got to know sports to recognize the name John Wooden, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right? And then you got, Houston Cougars, a no-name coach, a guy by the name of Elvin Hayes, and they have won every game in their season as well. And then the championship games come up, and guess what happens first? UCLA goes in the head games. You see, this game became like the first nationally televised game. Houston had never been in anything like that whatsoever. Nationally televised. Then number 2 happened. They switched the location of the game. This game was supposed to be held at UCLA. Instead, they switched this game to the Houston Astrodome. I want to put this in perspective, guys. Back then, 1968, they didn't outfit the stadium based on whatever sport was playing at that time. It was the Astrodome strictly for baseball. Football was done someplace else. Basketball was done someplace else. Let me put this in, like, you got to look at the video for this, guys. When they laid out the basketball court, it only covered second base. like 100 feet from where the court is to where the fans begin to come. They're trying to throw them out of their game as much as possible, and they're not ready for the big spotlight. And then what happens? They play the game. And here's where it gets really important, and this is where mindfulness comes into play here. The first thing that happened with this game is that what UCLA expected to happen, flat out didn't happen. You see, UCLA expected to have a big run because that's what they were known for. They were known for racking up the points, putting up the points consecutively back to back and shutting down the other team in the process. That didn't happen here. They were in the game, but they weren't in the moment. You see, they were in the game, but thinking about, okay, when's the run going to happen? When's the run going to happen? They weren't in the game thinking that, okay, we got to get this stopped right now and not bank on the run that's supposed to happen that we think is habitually supposed to happen. That's that habit land thinking right there. And then I got to read this for you guys. Or that's why I had my phone. And you guys were like, well, why you got a phone and doing it over the quarter? Listen, with 2 minutes to go, and the score tied by Lucius Allen's free throws at 69-69. 2 minutes to go, score is tied right now. Elvin Hayes took a shot and was fouled by Bruins reserve Jim Nielsen. Hayes, playing with 4 fouls in the second half, scored his 2 free throws. First pause, do you think he was worrying about the 4 fouls that had already happened, or was he in the moment right then, guys? You think he was worried about his past mistakes, the times that someone said he was wrong for doing what he was doing? Did that affect him in the moment? Didn't affect him at all. He made those 2 free throws. Bruins still had plenty of time to score. You might have watched sports today. You know 2 minutes is a hell of a lot of time. I mean, heck, we just saw what Green Bay did in about 30 seconds on the clock yesterday, guys. Those of y'all watching the playoffs right now. Bruins still had time to score, but an attempted basket by Lucian Allen would not drop. One last possession, still have another opportunity, guys. UCLA's premier All-American guard, Mike Warren, committed a rare mental error, deflecting out of bounds a pass meant for UCLA's star shooter, Lynn Shackelford, who was unguarded in the corner, waiting to win the game. In the end, the Cougars pulled the upset, 71-69, ending the Bruins' 47-game win streak. So here's a message I want you guys to get out of this Mindset Monday moment, guys. I want you all to each understand that you're a champion. You are an elite champion. You are a 47-0 champion. You are historically great. But if you ain't paying attention, if you're not being mindful, and you don't practice mindfulness, especially when it's going to really count, it means nothing. You still end up with the loss. There's some of you guys right now who are thinking about all the past mistakes you've made. But if you're worrying about that and you're not in the moment, what you could do right now to affect change, you're wasting your opportunity. Mindfulness, guys. Keep rocking and roll with me, guys. We got a lot more content coming for you. This is Coach G, your master mindset creator. I love you guys. Keep kicking ass. Peace.